Hey guys, Abby here, and I'm with my friend Abby, and today we have a very special episode for you. It is the Passover edition, so Abby is the first Jewish person I've ever met. Super exciting. Small town Iowa girl. We don't have very many Jewish people over there. Hopefully I didn't have anybody there. But today we are going to go to a grocery store, a kosher grocery store, so we're looking for special ingredients so Abby can make really cool stuff for our Passover dinner, and you can come along the learning train with me.
Okay, so this is matzah. This is what we eat on Passover. We're not allowed to eat leavened bread because we're commemorating the Exodus when the Jews left Egypt. And so these are kind of like crackers that we substitute for bread.
So I'm with Abby. We're on a goose chase. What are we doing, Abby?
We are going to try to find a kosher supermarket in Santiago, Chile. It's something this girl from New Jersey never thought she would be doing.
I don't even know what this means, so I didn't know I'd be doing it either. So I'm really confused. This is my first time I've had to hunt all over the freaking city to find food that you can eat for a holiday. Growing up Christian, you can eat whatever the hell you want. So we're on this mad hunt. It's kind of funny. So I was asking about kosher. So we're gonna learn a little about kosher.
Okay, so keeping kosher is basically following the dietary laws that are set out in the Old Testament, mostly in Leviticus. And basically, the main things are you can't eat pork, you can't eat shellfish, and you can't mix meat and dairy. So you can't eat a cheeseburger, you can't have chicken parm, any of those good things. No bacon, unfortunately. And all the meat...
Sorry, Iowa.
Sorry, Iowa. All the meat that you eat has to be certified kosher. So it has to be killed a certain way and blessed. And so you can't basically just go to the grocery store and pick up any old slab of meat. It has to be a special kind. Usually a more expensive kind, unfortunately. But yeah. So this is a Haggadah. It's the book that we use as the guide for the Seder. This one's in Spanish, which is really cool. I've never seen that before. And I'm going to be making one that's just for Remote Year for tomorrow. Then...
What's a Seder plate?
This is a Seder plate. And there are all these symbolic foods that we're going to have on the plate tomorrow that I will explain tomorrow. And they basically commemorate different parts of the holiday and different themes about what we're celebrating.
Cool. Why did we come here?
So this is a kosher supermarket, thankfully, and they have very specific foods that are kosher for Passover. So, for instance, these are macaroons. They're really good. They're like a coconut cookie, I guess. That's traditional to eat on Passover. We got matzah meal, which is super important. It's the main ingredient in matzah balls, which goes in matzah ball soup, and it's really tasty. And all this stuff here is kosher for Passover.
So how did this compare to markets in the U.S.?
It's way smaller. Oh, it was way smaller. The selection was less, and obviously it was much harder to communicate because we don't speak Spanish. But all in all, it kind of felt like a piece of home, coming to this far-flung corner of the earth and still finding the same kinds of foods and people celebrating the same holiday. It's making me a little bit emotional, I'm not gonna lie.
Aww. Is it more expensive or pretty same expense-wise?
It's a little more expensive, I think. I mean, to be frank, again, kosher food in general is just more expensive because of the nature of they have to employ more people to process it and everything like that. But yeah, I think it is a bit more expensive here because they have to ship it, unfortunately, from the U.S. But
overall, a good experience?
Overall, good experience. I'm so happy. I'm making brisket, Jewish brisket, not barbecue brisket. It's a different type of food with a different preparation. So right now I made the sauce, which is tomato paste. Well, this is, I don't know, Chilean cubed tomatoes, which is as close as we're gonna get, and Dijon mustard and some garlic. And then I'm gonna put onions and carrots and put it in the oven. It'll be really tasty, hopefully. And
cooked for many hours.
Many hours, slow, low heat, slow and low.
We're browning our brisket. Be real tasty. What you doing there?
Oh, we're just seasoning our meat before we pour on our sauce.
So we got, what's on the bottom?
There's onions on the bottom, the meat on top. Then we're gonna pour the sauce onto the meat, and then we're gonna line it with carrots and garlic.
What do you think about that, Sarah?
Amazing!
Does this look like your Seder?
No, it does not. It's a Ashkenazi style, Russian style brisket, a la Abby, but I'm into it. I can't wait to try it.
Making matzo balls, baby. So we're gonna take this mix and we're gonna mix it with eggs, olive oil, and they're gonna turn into these fluffy little balls here, hopefully, and then put them in some chicken soup, and it'll be really tasty.
I think
Maybe this is just doing a fun
that might be more offensive.
I am Ashkenazi, so what that means is I'm of Eastern European descent, and that means we follow like some extra rules where we don't eat legumes, corn, rice. So basically like the paleo diet. That's what I'll be doing for the next 8 days.
I'm half and half, so I'm half Ashkenazi, so my mom's side is from Eastern Europe, and my dad's side is from Uzbekistan and like the Middle East. So Sephardic Jews are from Spain, Turkey, and like the Middle East. So I'm sort of half and half. So we do the easier rules because we can. So we can eat rice and legumes on this holiday.
Oh, fun fact, Jesus' Last Supper was a Passover Seder. So we started off the Passover Seder talking about the Seder plate, which has a bunch of symbolic foods that represent different parts of the Exodus story. For instance, we have an egg, we have bitter herbs, we have charoset, which is like a sweet concoction that's supposed to represent the mortar that was used for the bricks when we built the pyramids. Uzmanim, l'sason et yom. Then we actually used the Haggadah, which is the booklet that you see, and we made a special one for our Seder that had lots of fun Game of Thrones references and pictures. But we went through and we did the various blessings, some of which include 4 cups of wine, which is really traditional to do on Passover. And then we also asked the 4 questions, which is the most famous part of the Passover Seder. Really 1 question and 4 answers. So you're asking, why is this night different from all other nights? And then there's 4 questions. So the tradition is normally the youngest child at the table asks these questions. Harry, would you do us the honor?
On all other nights we eat chametz.
Yes.
But why on this night do we only eat matzah?
So you eat this instead of bread because when the Jews were escaping slavery in Egypt, like they didn't have time to let the bread rise. They were like, we gotta get the hell out of here. So the bread wasn't leavened, and so that's why it's like symbolic of like not having the time to like do that. So that's what we eat.
Then we taught everyone Dayenu, which is the most popular song from the Passover Seder. We did it karaoke style with the words up on the screen so everyone could follow along. Then we had everyone look for the afikomen, which is a piece of the matzah, and whoever found it could go first in our next game of Family Jude.
Are you ready to play Family Jude?
Wait, should we introduce the team?
Yes.
Should we introduce the team?
We've got Jupiter versus the matzo ballers.
Family Jude is our version of Family Feud, not typical at a normal Passover Seder, but as Abby and I were the only Jewish people of our group of 30 plus, we wanted to educate them on Jewish culture and tradition, and we put up really fun questions that they could guess the answers to, and everyone had a great time. For example, one question was name a Jewish celebrity, and another one was name a Yiddish word.
Everyone raise your glass. I just want to say thank you to our hostesses with the mostesses.
Hey guys, my name is Abby and I make these videos every week so you can travel the world with me. Please hit subscribe so you don't miss out.